What if the number linked to your birth date could reveal not just your strengths, but also your deepest unconscious fears? This video isn't about magic. It's about the hidden archetypes encoded in your life path number. Today, we'll explore how this number can point not only to your natural talents and potential, but also to unconscious patterns, your psychological defenses, your shadow traits, even painful compulsions that quietly block your self-realization. Numerology isn't fortune-telling. It's a mirror, a way to access deep layers of insight about your wounds, your inner script, and your path to growth. When we are born, the date of our arrival is recorded in time. The life path number is not just a sum of digits. It's a key, an archetype through which a person lives out their destiny. It's like a lens. Through it, we look at the world, at ourselves, at others. We choose, love, suffer, dream, all through that filter. Calculating it is simple. Add all the digits in your birth date until you get a single digit, from 1 to 9. Sometimes the result is what's called a master number, minus 11, 22, or 33. These are not reduced further. They carry a special intensity and a unique inner calling. For example, someone born on April 15th, 1987, 198-704-1535358. Their F is the number 8. But this 8 isn't just a trait. It's as if life says, I'll give you a story of power. First, lessons in control, loss, dependency, and struggle. Only by walking through these challenges can a person unlock the very gift they came here to discover. That's the essence of the life path number. It's not a formula. It's a journey, sometimes difficult, always unique. And once you know your number, you're no longer just drifting. You're consciously walking the road your soul chose. When we talk about numbers in the context of life, we often look for simple labels. 7 is wise, 1 is a leader, 6 is nurturing. But behind these traits lies something deeper, an inner tension, a polarity, a duality. Every number is not a fixed character trait. It is a living dynamic, a tension between light and shadow. Within each number lives both a gift and a fear. They are not enemies. They are two sides of the same coin. Why? Because our talent doesn't appear out of nowhere. It grows from pain, from adaptation, from trying to survive. When a child meets the world, they search for a strategy. The one learns to be strong, to earn respect, and grows up fearing weakness and invisibility. The two becomes attuned to others, trying to please, and fears rejection. The 4 builds order because chaos feels dangerous. And the 9 becomes wise because, from an early age, they feel others' pain as their own. What once served as a shield can later become wings, or it can become a prison. This is where Jungian psychology steps in. Where your wound is, there lies your strength. Carl Jung called this the process of individuation, the journey of becoming whole by integrating both light and shadow, not by suppressing fear, but by understanding it, not by denying weakness, but by making it part of your wholeness. The archetype of a number isn't a mask, it's a script. It offers you a role to play, and through that role, a chance to evolve, if you live it consciously. The one is a warrior, but what makes them a warrior? Not strength, but the pain of humiliation, the fear of being nothing. Only by facing that fear can they become a true leader, not a tyrant. The 5 is a seeker. But their journey starts with anxiety, the feeling that the world is too confining. But if they stop and look within, they find the wisdom of real freedom. This is how the talent of every number unfolds, through the acceptance of its fear. Not resisting it, but transforming it. This is the alchemy of the path. When what once felt like a weakness becomes the very place where your greatest strength begins to rise. Each number isn't just a label, it's a psychological path. It doesn't point to who you are, but to who you become by moving through your vulnerabilities. We're about to walk through the numbers 1 to 9, and the master numbers 11, 22, and 33. This isn't a full portrait, but it's the essence, the seed. And if one of them resonates deeply with you, you can always explore it further in future episodes. 1. The warrior talent, leadership, action, initiative. Ones are born with inner fire. They want to be first, to lead. But at the root of this drive is often the fear of being rejected or invisible. They fear appearing weak. They fear losing respect. When ruled by fear, the one becomes a tyrant. But when they heal the wound, they become the kind of leader others are drawn to follow. 2. The diplomat talent, intuition, empathy, partnership. 2s have a deep sensitivity. They hear what isn't said, but inside there's fear of conflict and a pain around rejection. They're afraid of dissolving into others, of losing themselves to please. When fear dominates, the 2 becomes codependent. When it's integrated, they become a true master of harmony. 3. The artist talent, creativity, inspiration, lightness. 3s shine like the sun, bright, vibrant, infectious. But behind that joy often hides a fear of not being accepted, of being boring, of being empty. If the 3 lives to escape their pain, they become a performer without a center. But when they embrace their vulnerability, true creative magic awakens within. For the architect talent, reliability, stability, structure, force build. They create order. They carry weight with quiet strength, but their fear is chaos. A fear that without constant effort, everything will fall apart. They must be enough or feel like nothing. If they live only for safety, everything loses meaning. But when they allow themselves to be fully alive, their structure becomes a foundation for others. 5. The wanderer talent, freedom, change, zest for life. 5s cannot be caged. They crave movement, novelty, risk, but are they running toward freedom or away from fear? 5s fear routine, limitation, dependence. If they're running, they become eternal escape artists. But if they dare to stay, their freedom becomes mature and inspiring. 6. The caregiver talent, nurturing, beauty, responsibility. 6s want things to be right, to be beautiful, for others to be well. But their fear is being used, or worse, being needed by everyone, losing themselves in the process. When fear leads, the 6 becomes trapped in guilt and over-control. But when they also care for themselves, they become a radiant source of love and warmth. 7. The sage talent, analysis, intuition, depth. 7s are seekers of the unseen. They search for answers beyond the obvious. But often, behind this quest is a fear of vulnerability. 7s fear being misunderstood, being seen as odd or weak. They may retreat, isolate, but when they open up, their strangeness becomes their genius. 8. The powerhouse talent, strength, achievement, effectiveness. 8s want to influence, to lead, to manifest. But within them often lives a deep fear of being devalued. They fear losing control, being weak, being destroyed. If they dominate everything around them, they lose their humanity. But when they open to vulnerability, their power becomes pure and authentic. 9. The philosopher, talent, compassion, wisdom, higher vision. 9s come with a deep sense that everything is connected. They want to help, to heal, to uplift. But their fear is being unneeded or betrayed. They may fall into martyrdom, endless rescuing. But when they find balance, they become true guides of meaning and love. 11. The visionary talent, inspiration, illumination, purpose. 11s feel more than they can explain. Their antennas, catching energies, ideas, intuitions. But their fear is being overwhelmed, of losing control, going crazy. If they aren't grounded, they get lost in illusion. But when they merge spirit and reality, they can inspire thousands. 22. The master builder talent, building greatness, seeing systems, reshaping reality. But the fear is failing their mission, living a life that meant nothing. 22s often feel like something is expected of them, but they don't know what. If they scatter, their power diffuses. But when they claim their responsibility, they create what outlives them. 33. The heart teacher, talent, love, healing, service. 33s are born to be light, but their fear is dissolving into others, giving love and receiving none. They may get stuck in the martyr role, but when they choose mature love over self-sacrifice, they become a living embodiment of unconditional care. If one of these numbers spoke to you, it's only the beginning. Each number is a journey, and it's not about who you should be. It's about seeing your wound and turning it into strength. Knowing your life path number is not a sentence and not a label. It's more like a map, not a GPS with voice commands, but ancient star navigation. It won't tell you exactly where to go, but it will show you where you are and why. Each number carries not just a personality trait, but a tension between fear and potential. And it's precisely your fear, your inner barrier, that becomes the doorway to your gift. Take an honest look at your pain, at the things you usually avoid, suppress, or joke about. It's possible that in that very fog of vulnerability, your growth is hiding. It's not comfortable, but a life built only on avoidance rarely brings a sense of wholeness. How can you use the knowledge of your number? In work, it tells you what roles and processes feel natural to you. Whether that S, taking initiative, creating structure, or diving into deep research. In relationships, you begin to understand why some people intimidate you and others attract you. Because your fear and your gift both react to others on a subconscious level. In self-esteem, you stop comparing yourself to others. You understand that your path, your tension, and your strength are uniquely yours. A simple practice. Take a sheet of paper and write, "What do I fear most in life?" Then ask yourself this one question. What do I need to learn so that this fear stops controlling me? The answer might surprise you. From shadow to power. The life path number is not just a digit in your date of birth. It's a mirror. One that doesn't reflect your appearance, but your inner landscape, your tendencies, vulnerabilities, repeating patterns, and your possibility of awakening. You don't have to become a hero, but you can stop being a prisoner. You don't have to become someone else. You can simply remember who you already are. Each number is a path, and the more consciously you walk it, the more freedom you find in your choices. If this resonated with you, here's what to do. Drop your life path number in the comments. Share what fears you recognize in yourself and what gifts you're starting to feel. Subscribe if you want more. We'll explore each number in depth. And remember, your purpose isn't who you're supposed to become. It's who you already are. You just haven't fully seen it yet.